Alrighty, this is going to be part two, and we're going to do the player perspective for position 4, which in this case is the Veno. Get ahead of the draft. Alright, too far. Too far. Alright, let's see. Starting items. 2 sets of tangos. I think one went to the mid laner. Iron branches and mangos. The iron branches on the support, that's okay if you're going to turn those into a magic wand. If you plant those branches and eat them, it's not as great. Really, the reason why mid players do that is so they don't have to walk the distance away from the lane back to these trees. So these trees are way out here, but the actual fighting is going to happen closer to the river, and mid players will miss their last hits and denies if they end up trying to walk away from the creep wave. So if you're going to turn those into a wand, it's efficient, but really the stats aren't that great for a position for Veno. I would have preferred to see maybe a salve that you could use on your offlaner if the offlaner doesn't have one, or yourself. But really, the branches kind of concern. Okay, so you are going to turn those into a wand. Then that's actually really good. Then that's perfectly fine. All right, so starting items look good. Let's go back to player perspective. Looks like you're gonna rush a Force Staff and then go into, it's an Oblivion, so probably a Orchid. The Orchid is really good against the Storm, so that's a great item for you to get, especially because in this game the Storm didn't get any defensive items at all. He went full greedy damage, tried to get I think he went Orchid himself and then Bloodstone, or maybe the other way around. But didn't have a Yules, didn't have a BKB, so the Orchid is great, but maybe something else earlier. Orchid is your second big item, might be a bit greedy. And no lane sustain here, so you just have the tangos, there's no Bassi. A Ring of Bassi would have been good for mana, gives the axe basically constant battle hungers. Hopefully he's going to be spamming the battle hungers constantly anyway, and that way he has enough mana for it. Oh, I remember this now. Okay, so the axe was talking about trying to harass, and even you can even see here on the map the axe draws the hook over on the map. But I think the Veno ends up going straight in. Yeah, so we're still talking at this point. I think the Veno is actually waiting on a courier, if I recall correctly. So let's freeform up here. What's going on? Is there still a courier coming out? No. Thought that's what he was saying during the game. Basically, we're waiting for the mid to come back. Mid does come back. There it is. I see a courier running. So Veno, okay, Veno decides to get a salve now. That's really good. So ideally, Veno should have had that from the beginning. The Fairy Fire, again, that's a mid thing. Fairy Fire's on the support, a little bit of life and smidge damage. Okay, not really thrilled with that. Maybe you really wanted to use all of your starting gold, which is fine, but you should have had those at the beginning. There's no reason for this entire time you to have not walked out with those, because now Axe is in position on the side. Axe has his Battle Hunger, and he probably wants to cast Battle Hunger twice on the enemy team before the fight for the rune starts. So you need to be there for that, because once he casts the Battle Hunger, you want to hit the Venomous Gale at the same time and really get a bunch of good damage on the enemy hero with right clicks while he's slowed both by your 50% and then his, 12%. So that's really good. But unfortunately, you're way over here waiting for a courier to walk, and I think you come straight through the river too, which is not great. So if you're going to invade, try and contest over here, you don't want to go down this side and then up this side again, because they have this entire time to watch you and decide how they're going to prepare. Whereas if you come with the axe, hide behind one of these trees, they don't see you, and then you get an easy double slow on this hero as axe basically jumps out from this tree. So you run back up here, you get your courier items. That's good. You have a salve, Fairy Fire, not great. And yeah, you run straight into the river, but at this point it's too late. There's no time to flank. Axe doesn't cast Battle Hunger yet. That's a little late, but okay. And you're getting hits, but you're hitting the hero, which is good because he's the one that's got the Gale on, but the Axe was hitting the Sven. The Jakiro was really far, starting up here. Still good harass, but that could have gone better. He also didn't bring a sentry, so there's no way to block the small camp. I'm not sure if that's going to become important here, but maybe against a team that would plan on pulling this small camp down, you're going to want to basically block it. Oh, wonder if you're going to body block it. Would be fine too. Good harass on the Jakiro right here. He's out of position, so yep, good Gale. Your axe should... Okay, he's got... Still on cooldown. That's excellent harass. While he was up there in between you two on the side, you can get some good harass on him. This is your chance to body block this camp. Let's see if that's what you do. 5 seconds. You're standing in it. This is perfect. Still standing in it. That's great. Alright, so you didn't even need the sentry. You just blocked it yourself. But now you shouldn't go back up here. You should have cut straight down and went back to harassing the Jakiro. You're missing a lot of opportunities for right clicks. You aggroed the large camp there, so you took 2 neutral creep hits for nothing. Here, right, hit him. It's a battle hunger plus your Gale. You should be hitting him right now. There's no reason for you to run back. Oh, okay, you're trying to pull the wave to get better position for Axe. That's actually good too, but it looks like you missed most of the wave. So the wave is still way out of position down here. Axe is doing okay. You should really be beating up on this Jakiro. Those are good hits. Probably could use your Gale. So right there, the Ven or the Jakiro's way up here. You have your Gale off cooldown. Pop the Gale, and this entire time he's running back to his lane, he could have been slowed by 50%. Huge slow. You could have like done a lot more damage on him. Either way, this is fine. Axe is getting low. It sounded like a clarity. Did Jakiro waste his clarity and he popped it? That'd be really good. Yeah, 2 clarities. Jakiro wastes one. Instantly popped. That's good. Axe is putting his battle hunger on the Sven when it might be more valuable on the Jakiro, because you know the Sven's could be the one taking less hits, but save most of that critique. Alright, again, you're up here doing nothing in the back. The creep wave is way back here, so there's no reason for you to be ready to like pull this. You need to be harassing a little bit more closer lane, because really for the last 10-15 seconds, this is wasted time, it looks like. Good battle hunger, but you didn't combo with your Gale. So when he's doing that, okay, now better late than never. You could have gotten him out here, but this looks like a kill. Yeah, that's good. So not bad. You're still getting the harass. This is a really strong lane, which is what we planned for earlier. I'm not sure what you're pulling here. It looked kind of like you tried to pull that camp into his courier, and I don't think that works. So that pull right there was kind of pointless. Basically what it did was it showed Sven that you're trying to pull. That was okay, a little early, so you missed that entire wave. That would have been a really good pull across. Jakiro's back pull. And this wave right here has been in a terrible spot for Axe the whole time. Excuse me. So this is right outside tower range, right? It's not showing me the ring. Basically, this is terrible position, and you had the right idea of trying to pull, but you really need to get the wave back, or you need to commit to it and then come up with Axe and harass the enemy heroes while they're in the luxury of having tower health and regen. But by standing here while the creeps aren't anywhere close to be able to pull, you really need to get out of this sort of area and play more in this area. You want to basically keep the Jakiro away from this side and then force the Jakiro to play on the bottom of this tree line. Let's see what goes on here. You got a clarity, you don't need it, that's good. Axe has got plenty of regen, that's good. This lane seems to be going really well though. Look at the CS counts. Okay, good double slow. The stun is there, that's fine, not a big deal. 12-4. Why is that not in order? Okay, so you trade Jakiro for Axe. Let's go. I wasn't paying attention really. So last hits wise, Axe is up to 16 combined. That's really good. Sven 17. So Axe is doing nicely. Jakiro is probably a little under farm 0-0. Net worth, he's probably suffering pretty badly down to 500. Yeah, so Jakiro's had a really bad time. Axe is getting his farm, but he's really losing a lot of regen for it. He's too far forward, and the wave should really be up here somewhere. Or you should be doing more harassment so that they can't dive and kill him like this. So let's see what happens. I think you guys both got a double slow, which started off this fight well. He's not taking tower aggro. Okay, so he slows, double slow back. Good. Okay, he got stunned. No call. Spins are iffy. Yeah, he's probably dead here and he knows it, so he just committed. Just to try and get something out of it. He didn't have a stick. Salve wouldn't have made any difference. Although it sounded like someone popped a salve there. I'm not sure who that was. Actually, let's go back and just find out. Sorry, this is taking a long time. Someone has a salve and it just got wasted. I need to pay attention and figure out who that was. In this fight, who has a salve? Jakiro has a salve. Okay, you and Jakiro both have a salve. And at the end of this fight, they're both gone, right? Jakiro doesn't waste his. Axe is basically dead at this point. He's got double slows. Well, he's got one slow. Okay, so you used your salve on the axe, which may have given him like 50 HP. So that was a good attempt. It was a good idea. But the Sven had so much life and he was so far forward, he's probably dead anyway. That was a nice thought. Try and heal the axe up. But really, that's a bad trade. It's like Sven's not paying attention. That's good. You should be contesting these last hits right now. Good pullback. Tiny coming in. That's not great for you. But it was a good rotation for top. Toss back. He didn't combo his avalanche and his toss, so that's bad for him. You have stick charges. You got 6. Should work. Axe should give you a slow. Come on, Axe, slow him down. Oh, we get the Sven. That's fine. You're getting chased by this guy. Ooh, he had one more toss. Haha! Nice. And the Fairy Fire saved you. I'm not. Well, maybe. I think the Fairy Fire saved you there. I don't think just the wand would have done it. So it was pretty good. I didn't believe in the Fairy Fire, but it worked out. Alright, so you're going back. What are you buying? No boots. Going for 4 staff still. Mid disconnects. Okay, so I think we're waiting a little bit. I think the mid is gone for like almost a minute. Yeah, there we go, he's back. Let's see what you buy. Axe is full, these guys are low. We'll talk about how the axe should be, or hopefully the axe would be throwing more of those battle hungers on the support. But Alright, so axe is going for Trank Boots, Blade Mail, Blink. You are still committed to this. Wards and a Clarity, that's good. Back to player perspective. You're looking around, but you're probably planning on putting the wards down now, which is good. Let's see the wards. Oh, room time, that's fine. You can probably contest here, so while the axe is beating on the Sven, you were just kind of standing in the river. So it's pretty unlikely that the Jakiro is going to come from above you to steal this room. So right here, you could probably come down, throw a gale, and then go back to getting the room. That might have helped the axe get a kill there. Otherwise, not a big deal. Going back up in here. Void Spirit has a bottle, so I don't know if this was discussed, you taking this room, but that might have hurt Void Spirit later. Yeah, he's got an empty bottle. Well, he's dead anyway here. I remember this. So yeah, but if Void didn't die right there, and he was still alive and somehow ran to the trees, he would have wanted the rune back up here in our jungle. But yeah, I don't know if you knew that at the time, so not a big misplay. Good Clarity pop, just ruining Jakiro's game. Your skill build, 2 Poison Stings, sounds good. No reason to feed the wards. The Gale will be next. Seems like a good build here. You should be ready to side pull right now. Let's see, how strong is that wave Axe is bringing up? Can't tell. It's half strength. Okay, so that was a good side pull. But you want to kill this and then bring the cart back. Now Axe needs to back up while you are pulling this back. That's a misplay. Axe shouldn't be staying down here, but we'll talk about that later for him. You pulling the wards in, or pulling the creeps in, the side pull is good. You should be trying to deny this one, or okay, wait for the last hit. Now deny this. That creep should be dead at this point. Not a big deal. Turn, double slow. Axe didn't. Why am I not seeing Axe's perspective? Oh, click the Axe. Okay. Alright. Axe is munching on tangos. That's good. They're over here. I'm not sure doing what. Not a lot of dewarding going on here. And this is an okay ward here, but maybe another one down here on the south side of the tree line would have been good, because Jakiro's not really playing in this area. That's not good. It came up pretty fast, though. I don't think. Okay, a ward would have given that away, but with the way your vision was placed, there was no way to save that. So let's go back to free camera. So you don't have a ward here, so you can't see behind the tower. You don't have a ward here, so you're not going to see if Jakiro's playing on this side of the trees. This one is okay if you're watching for like Storm Spirit to come down and gank, but really the Storm Spirit's probably not going to come down to try and kill off the axe. If for some reason the Tiny was diving in, pushing into the tower, and, we had another hero, and it was like 3 of you shoving in, maybe Storm comes. But otherwise, I don't think he's walking out this far. And it's not to say it's a terrible ward, but this would have more value probably here or probably here. And so as these other heroes show up to kill off the axe here, he's a little far forward, he doesn't realize it, and it's too late. Once the Jakiro starts walking up in this way, he knows something's wrong, and he's dead. So you were a little far to be able to help, so maybe you could have tanked the gank, or maybe you could have had a ward to see it, but anyway, it's not going too well. That's okay. The Tiny roaming a lot is helping your carry. Okay, mid comes in to clean up. This is actually a great cleanup by the mid player. You're in the back. As low as you are with no salve, you need to run. You should be leaving right now to go all the way back to the mountain. Axe is going to respawn. He's going to TP to this tower, and he's going to retake his lane. You didn't need to hang around here. You could have probably been back up to here by now, since you didn't have a salve. Not a big deal, but just a slight efficiency. Run all the way back up to the fountain a little earlier, while Void is basically solo stomping the heroes that tried to kill you, and you'll be ready in time. Let's see what you buy. You have a smoke. A little earlier to buy a smoke, that's fine. I don't know if you were planning on trying to gank earlier with it, but it's good to have. And then by buying one, it starts the timer for the shop to refresh one. So that's good. Not a big deal. You just bought another set of tangos, or is that original? Yeah, rewind real quick, see how many tangos. Okay, that's a fresh set of tangos. Alright, that's not bad. One more set of tangos. I would have liked to see a salve. You got 700 gold. You're really trying to just get a 4-step. Okay, so that's a mistake, actually. So when you went back to the shop, you bought tangos. You're trying to save for the 4-step. You could have bought the Ring of Regen, and that would have helped you in the lane as well. Probably about as well as the extra set of tangos. The extra 10 intel from having the staff by itself isn't going to do a lot. So until you complete the 4 staff, you're kind of shorting yourself by not getting the cheaper regen item that might help you stay in lane a little bit more and help you trade with the Jakiro. Because really you want to keep trading with the Jakiro. Jakiro's a strong laner. He's going to throw his spells and keep harassing you. And you want to tank as much of the damage on to yourself so that the axe doesn't have to try and ferry out regen to himself, or try and kite away and hide in the trees with his tranquil boots, because he still doesn't even have those yet. He should have. I'm not really sure what's going on here. We'll talk about that for the axe replay, but alright, not a big deal. This looks to be a potential kill here. Nice sidestep on the ice path. Got a ward on the backside. These are level 1 wards, so of course they're going to die quickly. Let's see how well you place those to not feed them. I'm not really sure what you pulled that lane for. That was weird. So you just pulled that camp out, but it didn't do anything. That's fine, not a big deal. Max was killing those creeps quicker. Clock is here, looking for a gank of some kind. So maybe the 3 of you guys can do something. Okay, so you're up there showing in the lane, last hitting. X gets caught. That's bad news again, but again, really need vision here so you can see this. So this is really the second time that Axe has died because you don't have basically flank vision. So if you have the ward here, you're going to see a TP like this, or you're going to see the guys run up through these trees. The ward right here at the bottom, it's just outside of the range of the tower, and it'll see people running this way. Or you could have the ward somewhere in this area, like this ward right here. He's got one for the enemy team. But having your ward back here this far, especially when you're playing in this area, really doesn't give Axe enough time to react when he's getting jumped. So just future ward placement suggestions. You got 3 heroes here, so you guys have to back up. That makes sense. That's natural. And yeah, that's about that. Now, once this happens, you could probably go leech experience in the forest. I'm not really sure what's going on now. Almost 10 minutes. Maybe just going for a stack and a... Or just straight jungling, okay. That's bad news. So Clock is down here by himself. He's gonna die. Yep. So you basically jungled half of a camp here. Yeah, it looks like Clock and Void Spirit are kind of in a fight. So this is not great. So you should be more involved. Yeah, you basically ran all the way up here to jungle. Oh, that's where that mango tree came from. To basically jungle 2 creeps. You didn't even get the whole camp. And otherwise hanging out. That's a little inefficient. If you want to jungle, try and contest this camp right here while you're still in the area. You could have done the same amount of farming on this camp as you did on the one way up here and actually been close enough to help your team. So now you're taking the lane because it looks like Axe is elsewhere. Where is Axe? He's doing Axe things somewhere else. Jungling top, so you're farming here. Not the worst thing. Throwing those wards down for vision is okay. Just be careful you don't feed too much gold because Sven should one-shot these level 1 wards. Once you get level 2 and 3 wards, they'll live a little longer, but right now they might be food for Sven if he pushes up further. And you can be contesting right here. There's no reason for you to jungle this large creep. You should be basically harassing this Sven. You should have a ward here, either a Plague Ward or an Observer Ward, and then just throw some poison on this guy. Do some damage over time on the Sven while you have basically the lane to yourself. Try and stay within XP range of the creep wave so that you get all that and contest the Sven's last hits. Looks like he's going to go jungle. He's not feeling great. He's level 8, you're level 6. You did get the ult. Not everybody does that, so, you know, it's kind of a preference on how the game's going. I might not have gotten the ult because I don't think you're going to use your Poison Nova real soon. You don't have an initiation method. They're not really going to group up and gank you, so Poison Nova is not excellent. Another point, one of these other skills could have been useful. The rest of your team is up here doing something. You guys are staying bot. That's not the worst. But you're just walking backwards. Okay, now you decide to TP. It's too late now. That fight was over probably 30 seconds ago. Yeah. Yeah, now you're just the 4th hero in this area. So this TP up to the top tower was way too late. If you want to TP, you got to do it when the fight starts, so that you're early enough to have a big effect. And maybe with that big fight, you could have gotten a Poison Nova jump. But now you're level 7, and you just got a wasted point in your ult. Because really, I still don't think you're going to get a good use out of it this early on. You're farming the lane while Troll is jungling. I mean, that's better than no one farming the lane, I guess. But really, the Troll should be up here. You also haven't bought. Okay, so this is interesting. You bought another Clarity since I've been watching you. Another ward. You have 2,000 gold, and you haven't bought anything. That's not excellent. If you want that Force Staff, you probably should have gotten it by now, or at least maybe you're just trying to buy the entire thing in one go. That's not the worst idea. Just wait until the entire, what is that, 2175. Maybe you're going to buy it in a second. I'd be tempted to buy boots, but I guess you're just gonna piecemeal it. And really, I would have gotten the parts because the time it takes you to farm up 1,000 gold, your courier will be able to do an entire trip out to you and back. Especially if you're going to do the 1,000 staff of wizardry and then you need a 1,200 gold to get the other 2 components. Your courier definitely has time to make it out to you before you farm up 1,200 more gold. What's your net worth? You're at 27. Yeah, so basically you're trying to double your net worth all in one go. Just risky. Tiny's behind you. This is not going to end well. Yeah, that was a shame. You wasted your stick charges. I wouldn't have even popped the wand. Like, at that point, you're so dead. You can pop your Poison Nova just to, basically take a chunk out of their HP, since you're not going to need it again anyway. Or you probably won't. But the Magic Wand, there's no way you survive that. You might as well save your stick charges for your next life. But I don't mind you saving the ult. So saving the ult there is perfectly fine to have it next time. Because it would still be on like 120 second cooldown at this point. You'd basically be pushing another lane without it again. You don't have a TP, so you started to walk. Now you're going back for mangoes. Now you have a TP. Now you're walking. Now you're TPing. Okay. Team is pushing bottom. You got tier 1. You're basically solo farming the lane now, which is kind of weird, but okay. And of course, that's not your fault that your cores aren't in the lane. Good harass on the Abaddon. Hopefully, you just keep hitting him with poison. Wear him out. Excuse me. So the Force Staff is good. You did buy that in one go, and the Force Staff gives you an initiation for the Poison Nova. So hopefully you use the Force Staff in a fight to force yourself forward and then basically gas nuke everyone around you. So we'll see if you get to use that. Also, of course, you want to use the Force Staff to save people, but this at least gives you an initiation method for your ult. Not really sure why you're hiding in the trees there. That really didn't do anything. Okay, so this is the disastrous push on mid, and you're just jungle farming. That's not excellent. So your team probably needs you a little bit more, and I would consider maybe pushing. If the team is going to push this tier 1 mid tower, you should be you're a big part of that. You throw down a lot of wards in the area, basically scare them off and initiate. And this group of 4 heroes, this is the dream Poison Nova. You want to be right here and cast your Poison Nova. And instead, you're just holding it up in the lane by yourself. So if you had like TP'd into the trees here, Force Staff this way, you could have gassed 4 of those guys, and they'd be at 25% health right now. But instead, you're up here with a Poison Nova off cooldown. Okay, now you TP in. That's like, you're like 2 minutes late. Wow, okay. Let's see if you Force Staff poison. Okay, good. So that was the plan. I would have just done that same thing earlier. Because I don't think your poison is going to do anything at this point. Yeah, you didn't get a ward hit, so Poison Nova, even if it does enough damage, it can't kill him by itself. So you need to get some other part of damage on him. Maybe you're hoping the Clockwork Flare snipes him. But look at that, he's 18 life. No other type of damage. And Clockwork doesn't have vision. He's looking for vision. He planted a ward or dewarded. But he was hoping to get a flare, it looks like. Or might have been thinking about it. Let's see, and you're back to jungling. Okay. You know, it was a big fight. It wasn't great. You're probably still waiting for more vision and a plan from the team, but you guys got to do something. Like the position 4 shouldn't be jungling this hard. You've been doing a lot of jungling, a lot of lane farming. When, you know, a Venomancer is kind of a lane dominator, and you really want to use Venomancer's sort of high damage abilities to sort of pressure the enemy. I mean, you did get the tier 1 bottom, but you really got to force that into another objective. Now you're just wandering. I think for the last like 30 seconds, you haven't really done much other than this camp. Did you do this one? I can't remember. Yeah, okay, it looks like you did take both camps. But really, you want to leave that for the Void Spirit, so he can clear this wave and then go farm his small camp. You don't want to be sitting right next to him, eating his farm camp every time it comes up, because then the Void Spirit has to stand here with nothing to do, and you're both being inefficient. So, all right, looks like you're pushing up the clock. That's good. This is perfect. You want to go in, watch the clock initiate, and then throw some damage on him. That's perfect. Good kill. Good Gale. Looks like you guys have... Okay, perfect. Yep. Put a ward where there was a sentry. Just give your team vision and clear it. Now you should really be pushing the tier 1. So you got 2 enemy heroes dead, including the really important one. Storm Spirit's dead for 30 seconds. Jakiro's dead. You got 1 guy showing on the map here. 1 guy showing here. So basically, you know where 4 people are. The only person you don't know his whereabouts is the Sven, who's jungling, and that's good enough. You should be pushing up here. Oh, I ought to see some like wards. Okay, there you go. There's one. Push this tower with your team. Don't stand back here. Your ward's off cooldown. Pop it again. Too long. You're waiting here for no reason. Clarity's good, but now pop another ward. That was like 5 seconds too late. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop another ward. Pop another ward. Too late. Too late. Taking way too long. So this, when you're pushing a tower like this and you're expecting a counterattack, you need to be like just kicking plague wards all over this area, constantly off cooldown, just so that one of them spots the enemy team a little early. Looks like you guys are sending for a gank, and that was interesting. So let's go back there for a second. So you guys see this person because Clockwork puts vision on this tower, and everyone else is behind you. Why is this not going back as far as I expected to? Okay, it is. It's going back. It's just not showing. A little bit of a graphics glitch with the replay. So clock goes up here, and he's going to put vision right here. Now this is going to give you vision on the Sven, and your axe with a blink dagger is behind you. So right here, you don't want to basically start the jump on the Sven before he has time to react, or the rest of his team has time to react. Sven doesn't have a blink dagger, so there's no reason to basically throw down a ward on him and damage him since he doesn't have an escape mechanism. Now, if he had a blink dagger, that would have been a good play. But basically, we're watching, we see this, clock puts the vision down, you're running up, Void Spirit's running up, Troll is running up, Axe is running up, everyone is running up, but they're all protected by this tree clump here. Sven can't see that from this angle, so he has no idea the rest of his team is here. You really want to wait until someone else puts down a stronger disable. I get the idea of putting down the ward to interrupt the blink. Looks like he saw someone? No, I don't know why he ran away. He turned and went back, so I don't think he sees anyone yet. You pop down the ward early, which is okay, but now he knows. Everyone else on the team knows. You put down the ward, you put down the slow. Axe is still far away. So hopefully Axe gets here in time. It's here to blink call. Okay. Double disable, so he puts out the remnant. Axe goes for the call, and you guys stack disables on him, which is the worst thing. That was a mistake, though. Looks like you popped Poison Nova on nobody. I think Storm Spirit's in ball form, Jakiro's out of range, so you just pop Poison Nova to maybe kill steal the Sven. I don't think you even planned on doing that because you're not going to get it. Basically, okay, no, it does hit the storm. That's good. I thought maybe the ball lightning would have let him skip over it. But basically, all you got it on was the storm, so I might have saved that a little bit. Looks like the rest of this fight is going okay. I think this is over. This fight looks over. Yeah, so that wasn't bad, but I might have just saved the Poison Nova there. It doesn't look like it would have done much, unless you thought the whole team was committing. If you thought the rest of Sven's team was basically jumping in to save him, then it wouldn't have been okay. Because maybe you thought you were going to get like a blind Poison Nova hit on people hiding in the trees. But otherwise, that was low value. That's an okay ward. It's not bad. Let's see what you do from here. You got a couple parts from Oblivion staff, still no boots, not a big deal. You're basically relying on the high mobility of the rest of your team to control fights, so you're basically there for a lot of damage and to break blinks. Does anyone on the enemy team even have a blink? No one. Okay, so the blink stopping benefit is not here, but that's fine. Looks like you guys are going to pressure here. Okay, so if you're going to do that, yeah, put some wards in the trees if you're going to set up for pushing in this tower. Okay, that's unfortunate. Storm Spirit saw you and you're probably dead. Maybe he gets a root though and he saves it. Give a... I don't have a defusal, but he still got the kill. Okay, that worked out well since Troll was so close by. You could have been dead there. It's like clock's going in, initiating. You need to go back. You need to be in this fight. So right here, you just kind of like walked up here, realized that the fight was still going on, and then instead of walking back, now you're kind of like walking down this way. At least throw some Plague Wards down and try and really get close enough to Force Staff and Gale. You really want to commit or contribute to this fight again. Okay, there you go. Poison Ward to slow him down. That's good. Someone Yules. I'm not sure what you're staying back from. Maybe you think that like the Tiny is going to pop up and delete you. But really, you shouldn't be hanging this far back from the fight. Try and stick up with the team. All right, pop some wards. There you go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Off cooldown. Off cooldown. You're missing a Plague Ward right here. You should have popped the Plague Ward right here to help hit the tower. Looks like you're going for a stack. That's fine. Keep popping those Plague Wards, though. When you're sieging a tower and you're expecting to counterattack, you really need to cover this whole area in Plague Wards. You should have like one way up here, you should have one over here on these sides of the trees, and then probably one or two in the trees there in case they TP out of vision. Void Spirit had the right idea by throwing this remnant here, but you should be doing basically the exact same thing. Okay, good sentry. Kill that observer, that's fine. Yeah, and then throw those wards in the camp so that they actually start damaging these, and just take some of the enemy's farm. You know, even if you only kill 2 or 3 of the creeps here, that's perfect, because then when the enemy team comes up to farm this, they're only going to find 1 creep. In this case, you actually took the whole camp. That's good. Alright, where's the Veno? Go. What are you buying now? I'm just completing an Oblivion Staff. That's... I mean, the Orchid's going to be really slow, and I'm thinking maybe a little bit more mana regen would be good. A couple mangoes, just in case you dump the whole combo, and the fight is sustained. You probably want like 3. Actually, there's a mango tree. You should have 3 of these mangoes in your back pocket in like one of these unused spots, so that if you do get into a fight and blast all your mana, you can instantly top up with the mangoes here laying on the ground. You're probably one of the better mango carriers. It's like Clock has 6. Void Spirit doesn't have any. Axe, Troll. No one else is carrying mangoes. Only Clock has mangoes. So that's a shame. You should grab some of those. Now you're power jungling, which is okay. Nothing really seems to be going on. But just be careful about jungling too hard. The clarity's good, but now your team is over here. All right, so the rest of your team is all positioned over here for a fight, and you're way too far away power jungling. It shouldn't be the case. You should be somewhere in this area, throwing down a Plague Ward in the pit, a Plague Ward over here, Plague Ward on the high ground, top of the stairs. You should just be throwing wards all over the place while these guys basically prep for a fight, if there's a fight to break out right about here, because everyone else expects it. I mean, the rest of the team is grouped pretty tight here, and you should be at least closer. Even if you want to jungle, don't power jungle these 2 here. Kill off this one while you're waiting. There's no reason for you to stand here like clockwork and not do anything at all, but try and jungle at least closer to where your team is pushing. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, your team is coming back. Okay, you're going to go for a smoke. That's right. Yeah, I don't know why you're staying here. Okay, so this is a huge mistake. So your whole team came up here, and they grouped up for a smoke. You guys smoked right here. All 5 players, I think, were caught in the smoke. The whole team then ran down these stairs and grouped up together to invade right here to try and get another pickoff. And you just kind of like stood over here. I'm not sure what the thought process is right here. Maybe you want to do sort of split from the back, and then Force Staff and Poison Nova if you hope that like the team is going to invade over the same stairs and chase. But there's no reason for the enemy team to do that unless they saw the smoke and they really felt strong and wanted to catch. So chances are the fight's going to break out closer to where your other 4 teammates are. So you shouldn't be this far back. It seems a little like a mistake here. Alright, so Clock initiates, goes in, pushes back. This is not a great fight. Doesn't look like the axe uses blink at all. And you got caught on the backside by the storm. Okay, so that's a good example. So you're way over here. The rest of your team, it looks like, invaded from either up these stairs or over this high ground. You walked from a totally different side, and that's why Storm Spirit recognized you were by yourself while the other 4 were over here and just zipped in and deleted you. So that's a bad positioning mistake. It basically caused you to do nothing. You died without using Poison Nova, so you probably could have gotten a whole lot of damage on these guys. If you had ulted this whole group, they'd be at half life or worse. Now it looks like the team's going to get wiped. It's not great. Alright, so let's skip forward and see what Veno does now. Veno's there, TPing somewhere, TPing here, okay. Kira pops a ward. I don't know if you guys saw that. Okay. Good slow. Force Staff slow. You're going to catch this guy. Okay, he's going to TP out. He's got the... it's a shame that he's got the vision. Yeah. So you have wards. You're farming the wards here. It looks like the Jakiro is trying to kite. So when the Jakiro tries to run into these trees to hide, don't cast a fresh Plague Ward here to farm these creep. Cast a Plague Ward somewhere up in these trees to help your team get vision. Because let's say the Clock didn't actually catch that guy. So here's the fight. I think the Abaddon just TP'd out. You lost him. You got a Plague Ward on cooldown. Clock is looking for this Jakiro. He thinks he's somewhere in the area. The team was talking about how Jakiro was just up here somewhere. And I think you're going to cast a Plague Ward on the wave. So let's see. Clock is like, where's the Jakiro? I'm going to go exploring in the trees. You're running back. I don't know why you're running here. You decide to come back and farm this wave. Actually, your Plague Ward is still on cooldown. Okay, yeah, there you go. You cast it. Did you cast it on the other Plague Ward? Is that what happened? Did you? Oh, no, the other one's up here. Okay. I don't know why that bugged out for me for a second. And you could have cast it somewhere in these trees to help find it. It worked out because the clock was able to basically walk up to the Jakiro. But if that hadn't worked out so well, and if he was still hunting, you probably would have wanted to cast the Plague Ward somewhere in this area. And in that way, rather than do a little bit of damage to these creeps, you would have gotten vision onto the Jakiro, which was running away. It worked out, but you know, for future plays, hopefully you use the Plague Wards more for vision. Because you use the Plague Wards a lot for farming, but not so much for vision. That's good. That's a great example of a vision Plague Ward. So I'm wrong right there. That was weird. Triple clear the top. Second, I thought someone doubled. This is good. Pop another Plague Ward, though. You're all just kind of standing in this area. You suspect there's a ward here because someone pinged that tower. There you go. Keep popping those Plague Wards all over the place. This area should have like 3 by now. You're taking a little too long. You got another one. That's good. Off cooldown. There you go. That was good. Immediately cast off cooldown. Alright, there are too many enemies in this area now. It doesn't look like this fight's going to work out well. Good Force Staff back. Looks like you ended up eating the avalanche and Axe took the toss, so that was a defensive Force Staff. Worked out nicely. You could probably use your Observer Ward up here. Either put it here or here if you're planning to sort of take another fight back here. Guess not. Looks like everyone's splitting up the farm. Okay, so while everyone's running away and you just left the entire team here, this area should have a couple Plague Wards just to watch the retreat. Looks like... Did you place that observer? No, you still have yours. You should be throwing a couple Plague Wards here behind you to sort of cover your retreat. The rest of your team is going to go farm. You shouldn't be competing for any of this farm. You should be basically watching for a chase. Because if the enemy team had smoked up and then decided to run after you, they might have caught the rest of your team farming. And you don't have any Plague Wards in this area at all to sort of defend or at least spot a chase. Let's see what happens. Now you're just walking, and you really need boots. Just like watching how slow you move irks me. Not doing anything. You're now jungling with 4 people around the same camp. That's a good vision ward. That's fine. But you really need to be doing something here. This is wasted time. A lot of wasted time. All right. Sentry ward. Checking for vision. Another vision ward. That one's unfortunate just because of the angle of the stairs. If you put it like right here instead, you could see more out this way, whereas this one's blocked from basically seeing what's right here. Well, that one's a little better. Blocked by the trees, but whatever. Constant wards, that's the idea though. You got level 3 wards, they're a little tanky. You just want to throw these constantly. So pick up on the Jakiro for free, that's good. You want to get in position here. You're too far away that even if a good fight opportunity broke out, you're too far to even force staff and ult. You need to be like right here so you can force staff and ult. Okay, so that's a good example. Let's see if we can come back a little bit. Alright, the rest of your team is up here. Did he just self-fuels? It's weird. Okay, you're too far. Right here. So right here, you need to be force staffing and poison novaing right here. This is a perfect spot to get all 4 of them with your ult. You are way too far away. Let's see if you finally get one. You run away. Okay, so the fight's going bad. You decide not to poison. Okay, that was. I won't make you watch that again. But basically, you force staffed and you poisoned. Did you get him? No, you missed everyone. Okay, so that was unfortunate. You just TP out. Okay, that's fine. Storm would have killed you if he saw you. All right, so that was not excellent, but we beat that to death. You know how that should have gone. Stay closer and then ult somebody. Let's see what you do now. Back to player perspective. Alright, you're looking forward, that's good. Watching the camera, you need to throw some wards down right now just to cover this area. Throw one here, yep. Alright, inside the trees, throw one on the outside of the trees, cover these sides, and then throw a couple in front. You might be able to get a gale and then force yourself away, it wouldn't be bad. Get the gale up, force back if you get chased. It doesn't look like Sven's gonna die. But if the Sven did die, you could just force back. And it looks like Troll's gonna die here by himself. That's unfortunate, but there's no vision in this area. So this lack of vision over here is unfortunate. You really need some vision there. It's probably your Clockwork's fault. He's not getting enough vision. Looks like he's trying to put vision on the bottom. But maybe some Plague Wards there to make up for the Clockwork screwing up would be good. And now you're just power jungling camps again. You really should be looking to de-ward at this point. I get you're trying to get that Orchid to help control the Storm Spirit, and that's a really big item, but you power jungling right now is probably not the best thing. This looks really unfortunate. Clarity should be in your backpack. You shouldn't have Oblivion Staff, so this Clarity does nothing for stats. You're not going to instantaneously think, oh, I need to pop a Clarity now, like it's a Mango or a Fairy Fire. The Oblivion Staff should be in this slot, and the Clarity should be down here. And you should swap out really for like the Smoke when you use it. You shouldn't even swap it back out the Oblivion. Basically, if you need to use a Clarity, swap something worthless like the Smoke. So that's an inventory issue there. Not a big one. You might be thinking that the Orchid is coming and it's on its way, so this will complete anyway. Yeah, like that, but still, don't build parts of the Orchid down here. Yes, Poison Nova. It's a good one, sort of. It's a bad fight, but at least there's an okay Poison Nova. Yeah, at that point you did basically all you could. You might have been able to like throw down a couple more Plague Wards, but that fight wasn't your fault. You basically had no control over how that was going to go. You guys do have vision on this tower, so you saw the whole thing go down. I think those are Clockwork's wards, but otherwise it's not looking excellent. I think at this point the game is over if I... Yeah. Yeah, alright, this is over now. We'll go ahead and switch over to P3 player perspective.